So if you'd like to test your business idea, you can create a minimal viable product in just 4 weeks and without any coding. And we're going to be talking about how to do it today. And a disclaimer, in these webinars, these workshops, we not advertise or not affiliate with any of the vendors, with any of the tools that we are show here. This is solely our experience and something that we use and we like in our business. And it's not also the financial advice and it's not the legal advice. So if you have any legal question, please talk to your lawyer. And today we're going to learn what is an MVP, what to do and what not to do when creating an MVP. So how to create MVP, what features to include, what types of MVP exist, the examples, MVP building blocks, and how we see it. And also we're going to be doing MVP examples right now that we in real life that are from our hatchery or the one that we are using. So what is an MVP? We started from the example. How do you think Uber MVP was built? So probably all of you using Uber. If you haven't never used Uber and you don't know what it is, can you please type us in the chat? We would like to know about this. Let me just check. I have one message in the chat. Okay, no non-Uber messages yet. So if you haven't never used Uber, please text us. So Uber is the application that connects. It's a marketplace that connects people who needs a ride in a car, who needs to go somewhere from point A to point B, and connect drivers as well. And the driver provide a service to the riders. So this is what Uber is about. Okay, we have one person who haven't used Uber. Yay, we found one, but you see, at least Andrew, you probably know what Uber is. You cannot not know. If you don't, we will explain just at the end of this workshop. So all of you, almost all of you, 99.9% all of you use the Uber. There you go. And how do you think it was built? So just imagine if the Uber founders start building MVP, what they would need. They would need the whole map functionality, the GPS tracking, the algorithm to calculate nearest driver, the algorithm to calculate trip fare, automatic credit card payments. They need a mobile app for Android and for iOS as well, because they don't want to lose that market. And they need a mobile app for the drivers to take orders and process the payments, and for the riders to show their locations. And also they need a website for marketing and promotions. So imagine how much money and how much time they would need to develop all that, and how many people as well, and how many millions of dollars to do that. And then on the day they launch, their map looks like this on the right side. So there you go. It's not at all like this. So what was the actual Uber MVP? There you go. That was a landing page. Landing page where you signed up with your phone number and your credit card, and you can text. You text to the Uber. You text to their number, the location, your address. Then Uber will send the nearest driver and text you back with estimated arrival time. And also, once you get into the car, the fare is there on the website, so you already know that you will be paying $15 minimum or $8 fare plus $4.9 per mile plus idle per minute. So this is the fare. The driver would calculate it for you. You already know how much you would pay. And there you go. Uber just processes your payments and it sends you the text back, and the driver drives you there. So there, everything is just one landing page and a bunch of SMS that was sent manually behind the scene. So that was the MVP. So what is it, an MVP? first of all, MVP, it's a process and not a product. And why it is a process, we're going to tell you just in a minute. It has to provide just a simple functionality with the minimal resources possible, because when you are a startup, you don't have resources, you don't have money, you don't have, most importantly, you don't have time. And this is not a bad version, a bad cut version of your future product, not at all. You see the Uber that it looks right now, it has nothing, it's nothing like it was before when it was the MVP. And it also can be different shapes and forms. Yes, it can be a whole bunch of manual SMS messages. It can be Excel spreadsheet. It can be anything that you decide. It has to conform to one and only one rule. Has to conform that to the startup definition. As to what is the startups? The startup is a temporary organization that searches for the repeatable business model. So that's what MVP should do. It should search for your future business model. Here's some visual on how to and how not to build a minimal viable product. So if you look at the very bottom of the picture, so this is what actually Uber, literally Uber MVP looked like, right? So that's, it just had a landing page and all the SMS behind the scenes were done manually by the founders of the Uber, right? So basically the founders were doing all the work manually at the beginning. The purpose of the MVP is to learn about customers, about your future customers, test your ideas and assumptions, validate the solution, but it's not for earning or the popularity. So the main purpose is to test your business idea. You have your business idea, you have to test if it works. Because number one failure of the startups nowadays, and was always was been, so there is no market need. And you have an assumption that your business idea is great and actually has a need, but you still need to test it because you are the only one person so far that thinks that. You need to verify it with hundreds and hundreds of other people if they have the same idea that you think you have. And that's the purpose of the MVP. So what to do and not to do. To do, you have to speak to potential users before you build your MVP. Even before you build your landing page, you have to do that. This is the scariest part, but this is the most useful part. You also have to identify for yourself and also to test the assumptions. We're going to be going through it in details. And you also have to take a feedback. Take feedback from your potential future users. And what not to do. You please don't ever fall in love with your idea. In fact, how I would do, I have one great idea, but I have 99 other great ideas to go to if my one favorite idea fails, right? So never ever fall in love with your idea. Idea is just an idea. This is, it's not workable so far, and you have to make it workable. And also what you not do is to try to appeal to everyone. And then how we, when we look for the support, when we look for the validation of our idea, sometimes we go and turn to our friends, to our relatives, and we tell about this idea. It is a big mistake because they are not your target audience. You never ever talk about your idea with someone who is not your target audience. So if, for example, if I am appealing to the drivers, I will never voice my idea to people who don't have a car, all right, or who never drove a car, or who doesn't have a driver's license. So same for you. You don't tell your idea to anyone, not because they want to steal it. We're going to be talking about that, but because they're going to put run ideas into your head, encourage you, discourage you, but something that you don't need. Also, you not try to solve everything when you build your MVP. You focus on one specific problem, and you not try to address all the market, and you not try to solve everything, all the problems in the world. And also, you not try to focus on the specific tools that you're going to be using. For example, if I was the Uber founder, I was like, which maps should I use? Google Maps or MapQuest or Bing Maps? No, this is irrelevant at this point, which maps. You have to test if the people actually will use your service first.